Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the November 17th edition of Carolina Week.
The NCAA investigations are finally coming to an end, so we asked Athletics Director Dick Badur about the latest announcements and what they could mean for the future of Carolina football.
I'm Megan Cassell. I'll show you the innovative things Student Body President Hogan Medlin wants the university to adopt and what they could mean for the arts at Carolina.
In sports, the football team gears up for a big rivalry game, and Olympic sports have a big weekend ahead.
Weathercaster Suzanne Wilson will tell us the forecast for the last home football game of the season.
All that and why ditching your sneakers might actually be good for the soul. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Phase 1 is over. Will Phase 2 be even worse? Good evening, I'm Andrea Lutka.
And I'm Claudia Rubsich. Thank you for joining us. We now know the penalties for all the players involved in the NCAA investigation of the football program. But what about institutional sanctions? At other universities, penalties have included a loss of scholarships and bowl game bans. Justin Pace joins us live in the studio. Justin, can Carolina avoid that outcome?
It's too soon to say, Claudia. University officials just hope everything they've done so far will be enough to satisfy the NCAA and that the football program can finally start to find some closure.
Monday evening, UNC announced that the NCAA had ruled fullback Devin Ramsey and defensive end Michael McAdoo permanently ineligible. The juniors were the only remaining players in question out of the 16 originally implicated in the investigations. Former UNC system president William Friday has paid close attention to the developments. Friday is the founding co-chair of the Knight Commission, a group dedicated to reforming college athletics. The former president says he's still surprised by the investigations.
I always hoped our system was such that things like that couldn't happen. But it's here, and we have to deal with it.
And deal with it UNC has. So far this season, the university and NCAA have sat out 14 players, and although it cleared 6, the NCAA suspended 3 players for the season, and after Monday, ruled 5 permanently ineligible. But despite the damage, UNC Athletics Director Dick Badur says the program couldn't have handled the situation any better.
I'm very pleased with our response team, with the approach that we've taken. I think it's a sound approach, and I think our core values and principles of operation are sound, and I think that they have guided us through this.
But while the university wraps up its investigation, it must still wait for the NCAA. Friday is among those who believe the organization could punish UNC for a lack of institutional control. The idea that the university should have known about the players' misconduct.
I think whatever judgment is rendered against the university, if there is one, will be on that basis and that alone. I think that's what the NCAA is looking for.
Badur also didn't rule out the possibility of future sanctions.
We've had a good compliance program in place. You know, whether or not it's enough for them, we'll just have to figure out. We'll just have to sort that out when they respond.
And one other note, the university will appeal the Ramsey and McAdoo rulings. Badur believes the penalties are too harsh.
So Justin, how long do you think it'll be before we know about any other possible institutional sanctions?
Well, Claudia, based on what we've seen recently at USC and Michigan, it could take as long as a year. So we could be well into next football season before we even have a ruling.
That's definitely a tough pill to swallow. That's Justin Page live in the studio. Thank you.
An escaped prisoner is in custody this evening after stealing a UNC police car Tuesday afternoon. Inmate Farley Linford Bernard escaped from UNC hospitals Tuesday afternoon, stealing a squad car from campus police during his escape. UNC police and North Carolina Highway Patrol officers chased Bernard down Franklin Street and onto Interstate 40. Officers chased Bernard and the stolen car into Alamance County, where he crashed into the back of a truck. Tonight, Bernard is in police custody and charges are pending.
Chapel Hill's other law enforcement agency has a new leader. The search for a new chief in Chapel Hill is over. Assistant Chief Chris Blue has been promoted to replace current Chief Brian Curran. As a graduate of Chapel Hill High School and UNC, Blue is very familiar with the community he serves.
I've been here ever since, never wanted to leave. So to me, the idea of being able to be a community leader in your town is really, it's just a great thing. It's an honor.
He'll take over as chief on December 1st.
After major scrutiny from the FDA, state governments, and health advocacy groups, the beverage described as cocaine in a can is undergoing major changes. The makers of Four Loko have announced they'll no longer add energy supplements like caffeine, guarana, or taurine to their products. The popular alcoholic beverage has come under fire recently after it was linked to deaths and injuries across the nation, including the hospitalization of 9 students at Central Washington University. North Carolina Governor Bev Perdue has requested that retailers in the state voluntarily remove all alcoholic energy drinks from their shelves. And Erskine Bowles is about to step down as system president. Finding his replacement wasn't cheap. The search for President-elect Tom Ross cost the UNC system a staggering $140,000. That's $50,000 more than it took to find Bowles in 2005. Most of that money went to the consulting firm that coordinated the search. Leaders initially hoped to spend just $100,000 to find a replacement. But if you're a North Carolina taxpayer, officials say you can breathe easy. The search was entirely funded by private donations. We have new information about how much your tuition will increase next year after Chancellor Holdenthorpe and the Trustee Finance Committee chose from 3 proposed options late this afternoon. Their choice, a 6.5% increase for all students in and out of state. This increase is expected to generate more than $15 million of additional revenue for the university. The Board of Trustees will vote tomorrow.
UNC is in the final stages of designing an online MBA program just in time to launch in the summer of 2011. The new program is in partnership between the Kenan Flagler Business School and online education startup company Tutor. Admission to the program will be identical to the admissions process all business majors already go through. The curriculum is still being developed, but we know planned coursework will include a mix of traditional independent readings with more interactive video conferences between students and professors.
Innovation is a popular buzzword on campus these days. Reporter Megan Cassell joins us live in the studio. Megan, what does innovation really mean for Carolina students?
Andrea, Student Body President Hogan Medlin says in its simplest form, innovation is taking an idea and turning it into reality. He's created an Arts Innovation Steering Committee to start changing the approach to arts at Carolina. As she begins stretching early on a Tuesday morning, Becca Rand faces only one of the many challenges of being a dancer at UNC.
These students wake up at 8 o'clock every morning to come off campus. We pay a fee to be able to take dance classes to try to make the most of what Carolina currently offers because we do have such a big passion for it.
But on campus right now, her passion is seen only as an extracurricular activity. Student Body President Hogan Medlin sees it differently.
That's co-curricular. It's part of what you're learning. You learn something from engaging in the arts.
Through Medlin's Arts Innovation Steering Committee, Rand joins a think tank of students, faculty, and professionals in the arts once a month to find ways to help performers like the Accordants develop the resources that are available to them.
And if we could get more support from the faculty and things like that, we would have a lot more auditioners, because sometimes we have people who can't audition because their studio teacher won't let them or something like that.
The Accordants hope the committee will open lines of communication between academic departments and student organizations so people can take full advantage of the arts on campus.
So that means that every organization, whether it's an a cappella group like us or a dance group or a person who wants to minor in dance or major in classical and medieval music, has a chance to do that, and that feels like they have the support of the university behind them.
I'm excited about the notion of innovation, and I'm excited to see that this is something that the Chancellor is championing. I think time will obviously tell how it adopts and becomes part of the Carolina community.
In the meantime, Rand will continue to face challenges with optimism as she pushes for a dance minor at UNC. With enough help, Medlin's committee might be able to create an atmosphere of arts at Carolina that matches the talent we have. Andrea, the committee will meet this Friday to continue working on a series of recommendations and resolutions that Hogan Medlin will present to the Board of Trustees in March.
Megan, is a dance minor part of what Medlin and the committee are pushing?
It's certainly something they're strongly considering, but there are other big ideas as well, so they'll have to decide between now and March exactly what the recommendations will be.
That's Megan Cassell live in the studio. Thanks, Megan. And imagine how hard it would be to be physically unable to do your favorite things.
Coming up, we'll tell you about one student who's overcoming the difficulties of living with a rare disease, one kick at a time.
Movement. Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me back. Hey, did you tell your parents about us? Let's skip first period together. Did you get all my texts? Is practice over yet? Where are you at? Are you with your friends? That's L-A-A-A-A-M-M-E-E-E. Capital X, lowercase o, capital X, lowercase o. I love you. JK, I hate you. JK. Are you ignoring me? We're in a huge fight right now. Is this something I did? I can see your lights on. I'm coming over. What'd you dream about? Me? I'm lonely. Holla back. Holla back. Let's try something new. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. Do you have a hobby you love so much you'd ignore pain just to enjoy it every now and then? Emily Kennard introduces us to one student who loves playing soccer just that much.
For 1 hour every Friday, senior Andrew Ashley doesn't think about the pain. Instead, he thinks about kicking a soccer ball. Ashley was born with a rare genetic disorder called McArdle's disease. This condition causes his muscles to rub against each other, causing pain and improper sugar storage. It also prevents him from doing physical activity for an extended time, such as walking and typing. However, Ashley fights through the pain to play his favorite sport, soccer.
My left leg will go first, either my knee or my upper quad. It'll just sear. Sometimes my back will hurt.
In order to keep a steady supply of sugar, Andrew must drink several sodas each day, which might lead to diabetes in his future. Andrew said he's never met anyone else with this disease.
Other than the doctor's office, even really heard McArdle's disease discussed was on an episode of House, and that was pretty cool. Like when you're like, I have a rare condition that's on House.
Ashley keeps a positive attitude and knows the disease won't kill him, but only make him stronger.
It's not going to kill me. It's not going to cause any major issues within the next, I don't know, at least dozens of years. So nothing to fear.
That attitude is what keeps him in control. In Chapel Hill, I'm Emily Kennard, Carolina Week.
Ashley's favorite team is Manchester United, and that's something he actually has in common with one of our engineers here at Carolina Week.
We have more updates about plans to revamp Chapel Hill's University Square. Developers brought their concept plan before the town council Monday. The plan includes green space and a cultural area to attract pedestrians to downtown. It also calls for demolishing the current University Square building, replacing it with office, retail, and residential space.
UNC's fraternity scene has a new leader, and he has some big changes in mind. Fraternity presidents have elected Brent Macon as next year's Interfraternity Council president. Macon is a member of UNC's Sigma Chi chapter and says he's excited for the opportunity to help improve the image of fraternities at UNC. Macon also says he's passionate about increasing the IFC's visibility on campus, encouraging a mix of Greek and university activities, and even beginning a mentoring program.
Orange County residents want to do their best to keep neighbors warm this winter. The 7th Blanket Orange County campaign began on Monday, benefiting several local charities. You can drop off your new or gently used blankets at 4 different location sites. They are the Chapel Hill Carborough YMCA, the Children's Center at Carroll Woods, the Orange County Visitors Bureau, and the Wellness Center at Meadowmont. Organizers hope to collect 400 blankets by December 3rd. Well, we have weathercaster Suzanne Wilson joining us here in the studio.
Suzanne, it's mid-November and we're still in the 60s. Is that average for this time of year?
That actually is average for this time of year, and it looks like students are really enjoying the weather out there. Is it going to stay this temperature, or are we going to cool down? Stay tuned, and after the break, I'll let you know.
How you feel? How you feel?
I'm feeling good. Spin me, spin me.
Got you. Oh, goodness. Oh.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Suzanne Wilson. So we have been experiencing some seasonal temperatures, and for this time of year, the mid-60s is average, which to our surprise, it really is. So we're going to be staying in these nice temperatures, and there's a possibility for some showers on Thursday. After all of that, a high pressure begins to move into the area, and then it takes over, and we're going to have nice weather, it looks like, for the weekend. Taking a look at our satellite radar over North Carolina, there aren't really any clouds in the area, but there are some clouds over here in the Kentucky-Tennessee area, and they'll be moving through tomorrow and possibly give us a few extra clouds, which is part of the reason why we're going to be seeing a little bit more rain on Thursday. Taking a look at the current surface map, you can see this low pressure system over here off the coast. It moved through our area last night and into today, and now this high pressure system here in the southeast is taking over our weather, and that's why we've had wonderful temperatures, sunny, clear skies that we've been seeing this evening. But as we look into Thursday, there is this cold front that's sitting over the southeast, and that will be moving across our area into Thursday. And some of the rain that we're seeing here could possibly bring a few showers into Thursday, but that's not really looking like it's going to be the case. Just a few possible showers. May want to keep that umbrella around just in case, but mainly going to be a dry front as it moves across North Carolina into Thursday. Tonight, you can expect some clear skies. We are getting into some chilly temperatures. We've been in the 50s and 60s for our lows the past couple of days with the rain and the cloud cover, but with the clear skies, our temperatures will drop into the low 30s for the evening. Moving into Thursday, mostly sunny skies, but like I said, there will be a few extra clouds around tomorrow because there is a chance for a few sprinkles into tomorrow. So again, keep that umbrella around just in case, but there's a very slight chance, maybe only 10% for Thursday, just a few extra clouds. With a high of 64 for tomorrow, we're gonna have a nice, wonderful seasonal temperatures, so it's a good day to get out there and enjoy the weather. The big rivalry of the Triangle, NC State football against UNC football, tailgating will begin with temperatures in the low 40s around 9 o'clock with a few clouds, but as the heat of the day moves in, noon or when kickoff is, the clouds will move from the area, and temperatures will reach the high around 64 degrees for the kickoff. At post-game, temperatures will begin to drop because skies will be clear, and around sunset, temperatures will be in the 60s or so. So take a look at the next 7 days. Thursday, again, we're going to have a few clouds out there, a slight chance of rain with a high of 64. But look at these lows. We're quite chilly out there. Lows in the mid to upper 30s for the week. 59 on Friday, clear skies, 64. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we're going to have temperatures in the mid-60s. So nice seasonal temperatures and great weather for football on Saturday.
Looks like it'll be a little cold, but hopefully not too much rain.
It'll be good.
Yeah, it looks great out there. Thank you.
Well, it's certainly not uncommon to see streakers running through libraries on campus, especially during exam time. But one NC State student might have taken things a little too far. A freshman faces charges of indecent exposure and assault after pulling more than 1,000 books from the shelves of the library and throwing several at students. And if something else seems strange, you're right, he's completely naked. The video you see here has gone viral on the web. Police aren't saying yet whether drugs or alcohol played a role or if it was just a prank gone wrong. And sportscaster Justin Page joins us live in the studio.
Justin, a lot of our teams are wrapping up their seasons.
No, Claudia, you're absolutely right. NCAA tournament's underway, and the football team actually only has 2 games left. And coming after the break, the Tar Heels will take on rival NC State this weekend in the 100th meeting between the two teams.
much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. All those boys are much too much. Those boys.
This financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
There's a monster in my bathtub. There's one on the couch. There's a monster on my bed.
Keep innocent things from triggering an asthma attack.
Please make the monsters go away.
Learn how to stop their asthma attacks at noattacks.org.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Justin Page. The football regular season is nearing an end, and this week, that means the anticipated UNC-NC State football game is finally here. This year's game is the 100th meeting between the two teams. UNC actually leads the series 63-30, along with 6 ties. But the Wolfpack has won the past 3 meetings with the Heels, and coming off a big loss to Virginia Tech and decimated by injuries, there you see running back Johnny White, the Heels will need to play a mistake-free game to get a win against the Wolfpack. Last week, UNC had 6 turnovers, not going to win a lot of games with that, and the Heels can't afford those numbers against NC State. The game kicks off at 12 on Saturday and will be televised on Raycom. The men's basketball team is already in San Juan, Puerto Rico, gearing up for the Puerto Rico Tip-Off Tournament this weekend. The team will tip off in its first game of the tournament tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time against Hofstra. The Heels are coming off an 80-66 win against Lipscomb last weekend. Carolina has done well in preseason tournaments in the past. The Heels have actually reached the final for 3 straight seasons. This game will mark the first ever face-off between the two teams, and this will be only the second game of the regular season for the Heels. And if they beat Hofstra, they'll advance to the quarterfinals against the winner of the Western Kentucky-Minnesota game on Friday at 9:30. Lots of reasons to dance. Meanwhile, women's basketball is gearing up for a busy weekend. The ladies will play 3 games during the next 5 days, all in Chapel Hill. The first of those tips off tonight at 7 against Robert Morris University. The Heels head into the game ranked 14th in the AP Top 25 poll, moving on up with a 1-0 record so far. UNC is coming off its largest victory since 2007, an incredible 110-41 win against North Florida, and the Heels are looking good around the rim. The ladies will follow tonight's game with 2 more this weekend, one on Friday against Coastal Carolina, and another on Sunday against Western Carolina. The field hockey team heads to College Park for a Final Four matchup on Friday. Forget this, the 15th time in school history. The Heels punched their Final Four ticket after a solid win against Old Dominion on Sunday. Now the team will face Virginia to keep its hopes alive for a repeat championship and the 3rd title in 4 seasons. The Heels ended their season unbeaten on Henry Field, and their only 2 losses came against top-ranked Maryland, the #1 team in the country. Carolina handed the Virginia Cavaliers 2 losses this season, once in the regular season and the other in the ACC tournament. So Virginia will definitely be out for some revenge. The Final Four starts with Carolina and UVA at 2 p.m. on Friday. There you see the bracket. Maryland and Ohio State play right after that match, and the winners will face each other on Sunday for the national championship. The women's soccer team is continuing its 3-decade run of postseason dominance. Coach Anson Dorrance and the 3rd-ranked Tar Heels will advance to the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament for the 29th consecutive year. You talk about a dynasty. When UNC faces #7 Notre Dame Saturday at Fetzer Field, it will mark the 5th straight year the Heels and Irish have met in the tournament. And for the Heels to avoid falling to the Irish, they'll need more strong outings from freshman phenoms Crystal Dunn and Kalia Ohai. And there you see the women's soccer bracket. If the Tar Heels pull out a win against the Irish, they'll face the winner of Friday's Duke-Oklahoma State matchup next weekend for a trip to the Final Four. And in volleyball, with only 3 regular season games left and after 3 straight losses, UNC needs a strong finish to solidify a spot in the NCAA tournament. The Heels are ranked 2nd in the ACC, only behind Duke, and are ranked 22nd in the NCAA. Carolina faces Clemson on Friday. They've already actually beaten the Tigers, and then Georgia Tech on Sunday. The Jackets beat the Heels earlier in the season. UNC will finish out the regular season next weekend against NC State, who the Heels took down in their very first ACC matchup of the season. So just an incredibly busy time for Carolina athletics. NCAA tournament's underway. Go Heels. Let's bring home some national championships.
Of course, we'll definitely be wishing good luck to all our teams, and let's hope we can finally beat the Wolfpack.
No, definitely. 3 straight years, Tom O'Brien has beaten Coach Butch Davis and the football team. UNC, they seem to have the edge each and every year, but NC State always finds a way. Maybe the team can turn it around this weekend.
Let's hope so.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Well, you can forget your cross trainers and ditch your Air Jordans because some students are losing their laces in favor of a new exercise trend.
Coming up, we'll show you why some runners on campus are shelving their sneakers.
If you have a story idea, call Carolina Week at 919-843-8292 or email us at carolinaweek@unc.edu. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNC-CH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27599. Be sure to check out Carolina Week and Carolina Connection online at carolinaweek.org.
Welcome home, man.
Listen, I know you're upset, but it was just one date. And dating's like the stock market. There's ups and downs and ups and so always buy low.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
When you were younger, your parents probably told you to put on your shoes before running outside.
But some UNC students are ditching that advice and won't let anything come between their feet and the ground.
Feet are full of nerve endings. There's 200,000 nerve endings in each one of your feet. You know, it's like your hands. And so if you go through life wearing shoes the whole time, you know, it's like wearing thick woolen mittens and trying to go through life that way. You know, you get a lot of sensation. It's just very, very pleasurable to sort of feel the world around you through your feet.
Well, I've been running since high school, and now kind of, you know, I've been just, you know, through college, just, you know, 5 miles a day, every day, same trail. And, you know, kind of, I mean, when you're not really training for anything in particular, just trying to stay in shape and, you know, be healthy, it gets a little repetitive after a while. And barefoot running kind of like reinvigorated that, just that exercise for me. It made running kind of fun again and not take as much time to get the same kind of endorphin release out of it.
Make no mistake, you are more vulnerable when you run barefoot, absolutely. But because you're vulnerable, you're present. You pay attention to what you're doing. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna run, you know, I'm gonna go on the treadmill and turn on the music and just sort of zone out for a while the treadmill kind of does the work of pumping my legs for me. You have to be aware of where you're stepping, where you're going, and so it's much more mindful.
I do get a lot of funny looks from people. I usually run on UNC's campus. And I'll have people, you know, come to me later on that I know. It's like, hey, I think I saw you running barefoot earlier. It's like, yeah, and I usually just, you know, explain to them like why I'm running barefoot. And some people think it's kind of weird. Kind of crazy, but some people are really, you know, interested in it and think it's kind of a cool idea.
You know, Claudia, I don't think I could do that, but it's a really interesting way to run.
Definitely, props to them. I think it would hurt my feet, but, you know, if they can do it, good for them.
That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.